like to read from the book of Matthew, chapter 26, beginning at verse 62. And just to set the stage, Jesus has been betrayed. This is post-betrayal. He has been taken into custody. At this point, we see a bit of a court scene going on. He is before the the high priest and the religious council, and accusations are being brought forward against him. Verse 62. The high priest stood up and said to him, "Do you not answer? What is it that these men are testifying against you?" But Jesus kept silent. And the high priest said to him, "I adjure you by the living God that you tell us whether you are the Christ, the Son of God." Now, when the high priest said this to him, my Bible has in its notes that he was legally obligated by virtue of the way that question was posed to answer. I'll read it again. The high priest said to him, "I adjure you by the living God that you tell us whether you are the Christ, the Son of God." And Jesus said to him, "You have said it yourself. Nevertheless, I tell you, hereafter you will see the Son of Man sitting at the right hand of power and coming on the clouds of heaven." Verse 65, then the high priest tore his robes and said, "He has blasphemed. What further need do we have of witnesses? Behold, you have heard the blasphemy. What do you think?" And they answered, "He deserves death." Then they spat in his face and beat him with their fists, and others slapped him and said, "Prophesy to us, you Christ. Who is the one who hit you?" So I want to talk about, at least in part, why the religious leaders freaked out, so to speak, and instantly tore their robes and accused Jesus of blasphemy. Jesus was quoting from the book of Daniel and announcing that prophecy in the book of Daniel pointed to him. And the leaders, the chief priests, the high priests, and the religious council all knew this scripture. And we're going to look at that scripture now. There's no question they knew that. They knew that Jesus was saying that about himself, that he was the fulfillment of this prophecy when he said it. Daniel 7, verse 13, we'll start there. "I kept looking in the night visions, and behold, with the clouds of heaven, one like a son of man was coming. And he came up to the Ancient of Days, and was presented before him. And to him was given dominion, glory, and a kingdom, that all the peoples, nations, and men of every language might serve him." This struck the Pharisees, the Sadducees, the scribes, in particular. They had studied these scriptures. They knew these scriptures, and they knew that Jesus answered in the affirmative, that he was the Messiah. He was the prophesied one, and he is the Son of God.